SBS Australia has featured a interview that is going viral at the moment over on X with a number of people actually sharing it because it's rather interesting. It's of a gang of individuals that at night time they go around attacking and destroying monuments from our colonial heritage. They destroy colonial statues, they're called. So Captain Cook monuments, you name it. Whatever it is to do with the colonizing of Australia, they see that as a bad thing, believe it or not. They destroy them. And Victoria Police, amazingly, has got no idea who these people are, but yet somehow SBS Australia does. And SBS Australia is allowed to have an interview with them because, well, why would these madmen that cover their faces, why in the world would they say no to an interview? And why? I've got so many questions about this. Why don't the police know who these people are? Why does the media know, but not the police? Interesting, isn't it? Now, this is actually a crime in Australia to deface or destroy any monuments at all. They're public property paid for by us taxpayers. And you've got these dingbats running around thinking that they can go and destroy or deface important historical monuments. Where have we gone as a country or even a society that we think that it's acceptable to remove or deface any statues that were erected for a very specific purpose? To remind us of our heritage, our good heritage. But unfortunately, the vast majority of these dingbats have probably been taught about Australia's horrible past by TikTok videos of very hateful individuals that have got a very one-sided viewpoint. These people wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for the settling, the first settlers, Captain Cook, you name it. They wouldn't even be here. But they want to be incredibly ungrateful. And so that gives them somehow the right to go and destroy our monuments. No, thank you. Now, Victoria Police needs to uphold the law, do they not? And they actually feature in this short little clip from the little documentary they've created about these nut jobs running around and destroying our monuments. Have a watch of this.
We had people watching for cops on at least 5 corners. We had strapped 2 ladders to the plinth so people could climb on either side, much like felling a tree, really.
They've been called extremists, accused by some of erasing Australia's history. Police are trying to find out who they are, because over the last year and a half, they've been targeting and tearing down Australia's colonial statues.
They tell one history. They tell the history of white supremacy.
Now, for years, there has been this intense debate about what Australia does with its colonial statues and whether they should even be on display.
Do we want to move somewhere?
And this group thinks there is only one way to get change.
There's a list of priorities. Topple is obviously number 1.
I don't see them as protesters, I see them as criminals.
The decision to remove the statue is disgusting. I think it's the ultimate virtue signalling act.
It can be justified. At the end of the day, we're not harming anyone.
When they come down, there is a little bit of relief, but they don't understand the consequences on Indigenous and First Nations people.
Oh, the consequences on Indigenous and First Nations people. Yes, these people are justified because of what these statues apparently represent. They represent the pain and the agony that was inflicted on First Nations people all way, way, way back in the past. Not the fact that these people came here with an idea and a dream to create the actual Australia that we've got. And the Aboriginals back then decided to, try and wipe them out for arriving. But then also there were some Aboriginals that helped some of the people on the First Fleet that were really sick and unwell. So there's that side of the story that we won't actually talk about, but we'll talk about the fact that, hey, maybe some Aboriginal people did the wrong thing and some white people perhaps did the wrong thing because there was a miscommunication. It's a tribe that had been around for apparently 65,000 years that didn't create any sort of industrialization, nothing of the sort. They were primitive. And the only thing they could come up with was a boomerang and a didgeridoo. And the white man came around from Europe and has gone, well, we can turn this into something great. We can make Australia amazing. We can make Australia a great place to live. And apparently the Aboriginals were like, no, can't do that. What are you doing, mate? Nah. Hate the bush. Stick in the bush. Just stay with that. Stay with your bush. Hey, bushmen. No, we industrialized Australia and made it to be what it is today. One of the greatest countries, in fact, the greatest country on earth. I'm personally biased, right? But these dingbats are so ungrateful. They go around destroying statues. And the police go, I see them as criminals. So why aren't you contacting SBS and arranging a sting operation? Oh, no. We've got to let the media do what they want to do. We've got to let them parade them around and create the kind of content, giving them the attention that they seek. And these dingbats are going, at the end of the day, we're not hurting anyone. No, you're just defacing public property that we pay for. Thank you very much. That actually has some significance to our history and our heritage. Oh, yeah. Nah, doesn't mean anything, mate. Notice how most of them are wearing the Palestinian thing as well. The shawl, whatever it's called. They're all in Melbourne too. Notice how they're sounding very young, even though they've done something with the voices. They look young. They act young. It's probably because they're in university and they've gone, you know what, let's create a little cult. And that cult is going to be destroying statues because that's really going to change how we feel about our founders. Sure, Victoria Police really does need to step up its game, because if the mainstream media are better at finding people than the police, then why do we even have the bloody police to begin with? Because the police are supposed to be finding these criminals first. And the mainstream media is like not informing the police of these criminals. That's another concern. What's going on? They don't have this, what's that terminology? Where they get, forgot the terminology, but it's like they get a pass, so to speak. Or they get like, they create this deal where they don't get in trouble. So maybe they've done that with the mainstream media. Who knows? Anyway, this is just really sad at the end of the day. This is what my taxpayer funds are going towards, to a useless, well, they're not really mine because I live in a different state, but I'm sure people in Melbourne would feel it, having to spend money on trying to arrest these dingbats, but the police don't even know who the hell they are, yet the mainstream media does. It's nuts. And then also having to try and replace the monuments or fix them up when they get destroyed. And Melbourne at the moment is in a lot of debt, thanks to the previous government and still the current government. Anyway, that's enough from me, but you guys take care, be blessed, and I'll see you all in the next video.